guys, Electric Ord. We're back with part 3 of the Halo Reach campaign walkthrough. Picking up right where we left off on part 2, which is about 1/3 of the way into Oni Sword Base. Just took out some wraiths. Right now I'm taking over the Warthog. Done Cat Gun. She's a pretty decent gunner, but don't let her drive because you're going to regret that later when she finds a cliff nearby. Once again, Marine gunners are usually pretty good, though they're bad drivers. This mission where I'm at, you can either take the route to the east or the west. The route I'm going on is towards the communications array. It says reactivate comm array. If you take the other route, you first have to activate an AA gun. As you saw back there, ghosts, if you're driven by a grunt, it's fun to just run them over because your Warthog has enough physical force that you can just ram them and kill them. Where if it's driven by an elite, though, don't try it because they'll make you flip or something. Basically, the Revy is really not that great of a vehicle for this mission. I mean, it's good for some missions, but not for this one. So it's probably a good idea to let Cat and the Marine destroy it, so you don't have to deal with it. Because it's pretty annoying when you have some wraith shots, or sorry, not wraith shots, Revy shots falling over the map at you. Especially in the harder difficulties. This one I'm just running in and activating the generator because I don't want to bother those enemies. Just leave Cat and Marine and the Warthog out there and let them deal with the enemies. I think they eliminated pretty much all of them. So right now I'm heading over to the comm array, which is up on the top of that building. So they're dropping in there's a Spirit dropship here, which carries troops like a Phantom, but it's a little bit smaller. And I'm not quite sure if they can be blown up. I've never blown one up before. Some skirmishers, I think. Yep, skirmishers. They're kind of nasty little buggers, especially on Heroic. In Heroic, they're tougher than you are, even though they don't need energy shields. And they bounce around a lot, so they're hard to get hit. Hard to hit. Yeah. Basically, your best chance against a skirmisher would be a headshot with a Magnum or a DMR. So I'm walking this building. On easy and normal, it's probably a good idea just to melee them because your melee is your best weapon in this game, as far as I found, for doing the most damage without using any ammo. Walk up to the comm array, hit X to activate it. I should be totally ninja and walk to the edge and just drop straight into my driver's seat because I feel like it. At this point, they drop off another Warthog with a Pelican in case this one got destroyed, which comes in handy in like Heroic and Legendary. They always drop off a default hog after the first thing you take over. Once you take out the AA gun, or depending on the order you went, you took out the comm array at second, you get Gauss Hog before you return to base. Anyway. So I just looked for the Warthog, got it kicked out. Make sure, like I said, your character drives. Because Cat and Marine are bad drivers. Of course, splattering elites always works pretty effectively, because unless you run into one that has armor lock, I don't think that many of them use armor lock in normal. But you gotta watch out in like Heroic. So here's coming up on the AA gun, you have to reactivate. You have to watch out because there's an Ultra on top of the airbase with a concussion rifle that'll knock you in at random angles. And also these elites that keep taking over that Warthog. The Warthog may seem like an advantage at first, but it's really a disadvantage because the elites will always take it over and start shooting at you. Of course, you gotta watch out for those silly grunts with their plasma pistols because if they overcharge it, you can shut down your vehicle. You can do that in multiplayer too. If someone's charging the vehicle, just pull your plasma pistol, overcharge it, and shut down their vehicle so they can't hit you. So you can avoid being splattered. Not as effective as the armor lock, but it works. And another flying grunt. I probably should have gone with the assassination just to make it cool, but I didn't. See, this is normal. Yeah, and ultra isn't too bad. If you go on heroic, though, don't even try to melee them because they have reflexes way faster than a cat. I mean, and each time they hit you, you instantly die. So you really don't want to melee them. Like behind one, sure, just give it a smack, and then just whip around and give you a heavier smack, and you find out you're dead and go back to the last checkpoint. So at this point, you should just let the anti-aircraft gun take out the Phantoms, get back in your Warhog, and once again take out the silly elites who are trying to take over the other Warhog. They always get in the passenger seat or the gunner seat. I don't think they ever get into the driver's seat. And here they always drop off 2 ghosts on normal and easy that they're grunts. On heroic and legendary, I think they have elites driving them. So another checkpoint. So here they're bringing in a Pelican with a Gauss Hog, if I'm right. Yep, there it is. This is probably a good time to abandon your default hog because it's not going to be very useful in the next section. They've got lots of revies with elites, 2 elites in each one. Another tip, always leave the Marine Gunner because he is a crazy dead eye with this thing. I mean, he's better than any human even good sniper that I've met. And like, well, bam, he just takes out that grunt there. I once was on one mission that he did way better than this. And like, there's a bunch of revies, so what he'd do is just I'd drive by and then he'd blast it. Not on the Revy itself, but he'd hit like right through the driver area. So he'd take out both elites in one shot, wouldn't even touch the Revy. But today he's just owning all the Revies. Yeah. So somehow Cat teleported over here. Now we reach a checkpoint. You can kind of park your Warthog. Kind of roughly like I did, and open the garage door, so to speak. Which will slowly open. I'm trying to get the Warthog through here. I've gotten Wraiths through here pretty easy, and Revy's pretty easy. My friend tells me that you can get a Warthog through by apparently chipping off the corners of these barricades and then jumping it through. But I've never tried that, so I don't really know. You can just hop over and fight on your feet, which works. Use your grenades and explosives. There's lots of explosives laying around. Use your grenades right. You can pretty much take out everybody without too much difficulty. And suicide grunts, if you take them out before they get to you, you can use them to take out a lot of your enemies. But if they get too close, you're pretty much screwed. So basically, I threw a frag grenade and it detonated all the plasma grenades that the grunts dropped, which made a super explosion. It took out like 5 of them at once, which kind of helped. Elite, once again, with DMR, you go for the head. It's like 3 or 4 shots, maybe 5. Here's some hunters. I advise keeping your DMR and dropping your secondary weapon for a shotgun. Shotgun is really one of the best weapons against elites if you don't have a rocket launcher or a tank or FRG would probably work pretty decently. I haven't used one of those though. They have a heavy hit, but they can be fooled pretty easy because they have like no agility. That one almost got me. Good thing he kind of missed. When you shoot him with a shotgun, you gotta make sure you go for the back. Because if you go for the front, and they're entirely armored, so you can't hit them. You go to the back. Apparently, with Energy Sword, you can just go with one smack and they're dead. Shotgun, I think it's 4, depending on the difficulty level, 2 to 4. Or you can go back and reload from the other shotgun over here. The shotgun's a really good weapon, actually. Of course, DMR is also handy. you're going up an elevator, it stops right here because it's being bombarded, like the rest of the base. So, yeah. Basically, here you come to the welcome center of Oni. There's a bunch of guys standing there. There's an elite that starts yelling at you. And while he's yelling at you, it's probably a good time to start shooting, because he can't shoot back. And some grunts there, pretty easy to beat down. Jackals, once again, shoot them in the hand once, they flinch, and then shoot them when their heads are easy to hit. There's some grunts in Reach, because the plasma rifle is really kind of lame. Just the grunts tend to use them. I don't know why I dropped my DMR for the plasma rifle. It's probably a really bad idea. But whatever, I did. There's a bunch of guys. You can recruit, it's called fire teams in some of the levels, who you just look at them for a while and suddenly, boom, have a name appear, and appear next to your motion detector. And they'll follow you around and help you out. Which is kind of handy. An elite, kind of gunning him down with the wrong weapon. I don't know how he doesn't kill me. Somehow survive. And honestly, I really shouldn't have survived there, but I did. Most of my allies took care of him, so I picked up his weapon. Another squad of elites and jackals. I say go for the elite first, because you'll probably burn up your whole heat up your weapon there, or clip, and then just melee the jackals because they're not carrying shields, so it's pretty easy to melee them. Although if you have a DMR, probably be a good idea to go for the jackals first from a long range, and then take out the elite with your fist. So here I saw about my plasma rifle for a AR, which is definitely a superior weapon. Although not the greatest. I mean, the clip size is kind of lacking, but it works. Especially if you can get behind a jackal's shields. So here I am once again, just blast a couple grunts, punch him in the face, whatever it takes. Here's a, I think a general. Yeah, general. He's a custom rifle. Usually he's a whole lot harder to beat, but if you have a shotgun, it's a really handy weapon. Health packs, always handy to have. A rocket launcher, because you're really going to need a rocket launcher in this section. Basically, there's a bunch of couple jackals, but they aren't too bad. There's a phantom, which you can take out with your rocket launcher. I think it takes maybe 8 shots with your rocket launcher, and it'll detonate. If you have campaign scoring on, it'll give you a whole lot of credits. Or I should scratch that, I should say a whole lot of points. The Banshees, hold your reticle over them until they have this blinking red square thing around them, which means you have a lock. See right there, you have a lock. And if I fire the rocket, it will follow the Banshee until it hits. It makes aiming a whole lot easier. Usually a bunch of invisible elites dual-wielding plasma rifles around here, but it looks like there aren't any on this difficulty. Some on normal. No, there's a whole bunch on heroic. So you're at the end of this cutscene, or this mission. It's a cutscene. If it'll load. There we go. Some long swords. Basically the same idea, the targeting locator. They use targeting locator idea for an orbital platform to bombard it with a MAC round. Just watching. Does it fly off? Kaboom! And here comes George. Beautiful, ain't it? So much, take a picture. Well, this has been Camping Walkthrough Part 3 with Electric Gord. Tune in next time.